Hi guys, and welcome to round 6 of the race from Fuji. You've seen the video. There I am, starting in second with a 130.9, and it's only been a week since we raced here in the Audi R8, I believe, in Manufacturers Cup last weekend. So waiting for the race to start. 5 lights. Remember, false starts will be penalised. I haven't done one myself, so I'm not quite sure how, but here we go. Good start. We're slipping there behind Speedy Grandpa in first, and round the first corner. Braked a bit late there, so did some other people as well. It looks like there's a bit of a mess behind us, so we've kept hold of second, but Speedy Grandpa has pulled a little bit away. So what can we do now? Run a little bit wide there on that first corner like we did last week. We're not quite as bad. Managed to stay on the track. Now third place has got a penalty, 1 second penalty, so that will help us as long as we stay in front of him. Well, it'll help us wherever he is. But if we stay in front of him, that'll mean that third place will then be further back than he currently is. Now we're looking at Flyvingo in 5th. He's come through and barged that guy off the road of that hairpin. Now that deserves a penalty if ever I saw one, but he hasn't got one. So he comes steaming in late on the brakes, knocks a driver off the track and doesn't get the penalty. Now we're going to remember that, because we're going to see something much less severe that's hardly worth a penalty that did get one later on in the race. So just remember that incident there. So anyway, through that final section, I wasn't brilliant. He has caught up. He should have had a penalty. He shouldn't really be there. He should have served a penalty, or at least have a penalty for next time round. But he didn't. He's there. He's got a much better last sector, and he's managed to slipstream me down that straight, that really long straight. And is he going to get me? He is going to get me into that first hairpin. So there we go. We're fighting for second. We're currently lying in third now. As we again, me braking late or him braking a bit early, not sure. No harm done. Just a point off the sportsmanship rating. Guy behind me running a little deep into that corner. And so this section we are still fighting for second. Now this is the section coming up as final section, a very technical section, full of braking points on bends and blind apexes and all sorts of things. Occasionally we kind of hook it up fairly well, but all the time we mess up one or all of the corners. Now that's what happened there behind me. Look at that. So it's span him right off the track. And unfortunately, similar problem to me. He has a bit of a problem restarting. Looks like he's using that wheel spin to try and get himself straight up, but whatever he's doing, it unfortunately has put him last through a fault which never had any, and here's a replay of 9th. Look, he's massive false start, got hit by behind as his wheels were then spinning up, and this is what it looked like from behind. So guy in 30th spun off. This is the guy who, well, he managed to get a massive, he avoided all that and went up from virtually last to 12th, and he's even getting a slip, but then he messes up because he ploughs into the back of all the people in front, which knocked those people off we saw in my video. There we go. So absolutely chaotic start behind me. Unfortunately we missed all of that. Managed to hold on to second then, but as you can see we didn't lose that position to Flyvingo from Germany. And we're going to try and see if we can pull it back either through track position or through the pit stops, whichever it may be. Our strategy for the pits is to pit at the end of lap 7 using these medium tyres, and then do the rest of the race on the hards. Now again, that could be the wrong call. Maybe 2 stints on the mediums would have sufficed, but I did do a full race distance lobby practice run, and that did seem to work okay. but obviously that's on your own. You're not worrying about other people, having battles with other people. Are they better than you, faster than you? So that's the plan, that's the strategy. But just before halfway, pitting for mediums, finish the race on hards. So we have pulled away 3.5 seconds off fourth. We're still there or thereabouts with Flyfingo in second. The leader, Speedy Grandpa, he's pulled right away now. He's obviously had no trouble, no battles, and he's pulling away. So at this moment in the race, it looks like we're not racing him at all. He's a clear winner unless he has some problems of his own. So at the moment we're concentrating on second, and as you can see, Flyfingo's just picked up half a second penalty for just exceeding the track limits in that middle section, as I have done in that place before as well. At the last race by fine margins. In fact, it was this corner I exceeded it, just there, we passed there. But yeah, exceeding the track limits, you could be literally a tyre's width over the line and still get that penalty. But you know, if you're over, you're over, and that's it. The game knows. Exceeding the track limits penalties do seem to be a little bit more consistent than the actual any contact penalties that people may or may not get. So we are going to pass this driver. Oh, maybe not, because we went a little deep into that corner. So no, maybe we won't pass him. He's got his half-second penalty, but now thanks to that last corner, we're not actually close enough to gain on him, which is a problem. And indeed, it's allowed fourth place just to claw back half a second as well. So fantastic. Also from Germany behind me. I'm in the middle of 3 Germans in the top 4. I'm flying the flag for Britain, hoping to do my best. Like I say, Speedy Grandpa is out on his own. He's not having to worry about anybody or anything in his own race. So we're not concentrating on him. We're concentrating on second place. This is where I'd like to finish in this race. Second, you see, I've exceeded the track limits there as well. Dear. So now I've got a half-second penalty, and he's already in front of me. So I've lost another 0.3 to fourth. He's closing up actually all this time. So he's under 3 seconds away from this guy in front of me. So closing up he's closing up to the first point, but he's gone wide. Flyfingo has one ride at that final hairpin at the bottom of the track. Now he nudges me trying to get on the track. It looks like he didn't get a penalty for that either. That could have been a little bit less okay. But now, yeah, I've got in front of him. I've got a penalty to serve. But can I stay in front of him as he did me? See, that last corner there, can't get that corner right. When you hook it up, it's nice, but I just can't seem to get it right every time I go around. So he's going to get past me again here, no doubt. We're at the end of lap 5. Or is he lining himself up for a pit entry? Is he? Looks like he is. Looks like he's nipping into the pits. So Flyfingo into the pits. Let's see if we can see his tyres. He's on mediums. He's coming on mediums. Now, ignore the zero fuel. I should have mentioned, if you'd have realised, if you'd have watched qualifying, we're in an electric car. This e-tron VGT is a fully electric car. There is no charging, as we see Flyfingo come out in 5th place. So there's no fueling up, there's no recharging, thank God, because that might take half an hour. So fortunately, there's no fuel to worry about at all in this race of any kind, just tyres. And now we can see, so Flyfinger's already made up his way up to 4th. Look at all those Germans in the top 6. Wow, and the only Brit in top 6 flying the flag, flying the Union Jack for Blighty. So we can only see the distance gap in time if we click on the in-car view, so we're going to have to wait and see that, but you can see Fantastic in 3rd, and you just probably saw Flyfingo coming around that final corner. Now, can I get this corner any better? You have to go out wide, you have to hit the right speed, you have to cut that corner 8. That's better. That was much better. Why can't I do that every time? Right, so much better. Slightly wrong on that final corner, but a much better final sector as a whole. Lap 6, is it going to show my lap time? We've had 6 laps now on these medium tyres. A decent lap time, 1:32.9, but no, our fastest is 1:32.7. Obviously these tyres are wearing out, as you can see, so we're going to be coming in, I think, at the end of this lap ourselves and see where we come out in relation to Flyfingo, who has already made his pit stop 2 laps ago. So you can hear the whine of that electric power unit, which doesn't change tone or pitch as you change gears, because there are no gears, so it's just a whine that keeps on building and building until you think the engine's going to blow. But there we go. So okay, 3rd place looks like, yeah, it looks like he's maybe fallen away a little bit, but he's still there, and it looked like he had a penalty as well, so that's another little bit of good news there for me. Let's see if we can see him. Yeah, he's got half a second penalty, so that'll just increase our gap, although we are pitting at the end of this lap anyway. There's the leader just going around that final corner. You just saw him at the top of the hill going through that final corner. Now, I haven't seen anyone else other than Flyfingo take a pit stop yet. We are...
Okay, come in for your hard tyres.
There's confirmation, coming in for those hards. 9 seconds off the lead, and Fantastic is 5 seconds behind us, so we had started pulling away from it as we just hit the wall there a little bit. So hard tyres, no fuel, don't even need to click on that because there's none available. So remember, we're looking to see where we've come out in relation to Flyfingo, who pitted just ahead of us, and there he is, actually, just past us while we exited the pits. So I think we're actually maybe a tiny bit closer, but we're certainly right behind him, as we were before those pit stops. So first round of pit stops, although 2 laps later.
Okay, we're taking these tyres to the end, so look after them.
Yep, will do, boss, will do. So yeah, so we've got, I didn't see what tyres he put on, unfortunately, but if he put hards on, if he's taken them to the end, which is probably unlikely pitting on lap 5, but if he is, we've got 2 lap younger tyres. If he's not, and he put mediums on, then he's got to make another pit stop. So you could say we're sitting fairly pretty at the moment in what may well be a potentially net second. Now, we've made some mistakes. In the summer in the Nations Cup, quite a disastrous one, and last weekend in the Manufacturers Cup here, same, we have made some mistakes. Last week's wasn't as bad as the one in the summer. We finished 6th in our R8, which was a whole much improved race, better qualifying, better race, lesser mistakes than in the summer. So let's see if we can make even less mistakes this time around and have a better result. So here we are, right on the back of Flyfingo. Are we going to get a slipstream? We're going to get one. We're only 3/10 behind him. Are we going to take advantage of it at the first corner, the first hairpin? Let's have a look. So he's going to be knowing I'm there. He's going to be watching me. He's going to be seeing what can I do to stop him getting past. And what he actually does, he misses his braking point. So he's actually, there you go. You see, your concentration is not where it should be. I'm not saying he did anything wrong there. He had to see where I was. But when your concentration isn't where it should be, you end up getting distracted and making mistakes. And he made a mistake there on his braking point. So that puts me in second, even before any pit stop he has to make. So this is looking out, touch wood, this is looking like it could be an absolutely great result as we head into this tricky final section for the 9th time. So we can't see how far back he is in time because we're not looking at that in-car shot, but we can see him. He's run a little wide there again, so he's still there, he's still hovering. There's 4th and 5th you saw in the background as well. I've even run wide on that final corner, which has put him right back on my rear tail. So what's going to happen in the final 7 laps of the race? Now, when we come to end of lap 15, you actually see a little mistake I made. It didn't cost me anything, fortunately, but I actually thought it was on the last lap, a lap early. And in doing so, I try and break somebody's slipstream. So watch out for that when it comes ahead. And then, of course, I realised myself, hang on a minute, I've got another lap to go here. See, we're running wide now. We're running wide. We could maybe think these tyres are no good, but see, we're sticking with our guns. We're sticking with our strategy, even though it could potentially be the wrong one. We've had more offs in these few laps on the hards than we did on the mediums, and we've still got 6.5 laps to go. So maybe again we've got the strategy wrong, but here we are. We're going to see what Fly Finger does, because that might dictate what we do. And coming round towards the end of lap 10. You see, we can hook it up sometimes, so maybe it's not just the tyres, it's obviously my line and my lack of knowledge through the technical sections, or lack of concentration myself, maybe looking where he is. So maybe I'm guilty of losing some concentration. Now, here we go, there we are. So Fly Finger is coming into the pits for a second pit stop. Now, what to think to myself, well, I did think to myself in the race, do I change my mind as well, now that I know I'm in front of him, and do this, just mirror him? Or do I stick it out knowing I've got a 4.5 second gap back to third? Well, I chose to stick it out, so you won't see me pit again. Let's see if it was the right decision. Now, I'm already getting those best sector times in on that first sector, so that's not really a major problem. It's these final couple of sectors really that don't really get perfect every time, especially the last one. But you can see we're still setting purple sectors, or my best sectors, in the first sector. So the grip is there at the moment. So let's see whether or not I can finish this race in second. We've actually got 5.1 seconds back to Fantastic. Fly Finger was dropped to fourth with that pit stop. So is he going to finish? Is he going to claw his way back up to second again? Is the two pit stop strategy going to work for him? Well, only time will tell, as it will with me. There's Fantastic. So we've got a good gap here. We've got a good gap, and we've got, what, 5 laps to go after this one. So if we can keep, even if that guy behind us is second a lap quicker, it means it'll only gain us on that final stretch. So potentially got a massive advantage in second, as we record another 1:32.9, so again a decent lap time, very decent lap time on these hard tyres. But all the time in the race, obviously in the race I can see the gaps all the time, so I'm watching his lap times, I'm seeing if he's gaining. Is he clawing back time to me slowly and surely, or am I holding that gap constant? Well, we can't see this, and I can't remember, to be fair, but we will see the gap times every time I click to the in-car camera. Well, not in-car, it's the live camera that I use in the race. It's actually probably on the front of the nose, so you don't have to see the car stuck on the front of the nose, but the camera that I use in the race, when I flick to that camera, that's when we see the gaps. But like I said, even if he claws back a second a lap, he won't catch me until the final end of the last lap. So we were constantly looking at those times, constantly checking our mirrors. May or may not have hampered me. And the other thing I want to mention, which we'll have a look at on the final lap as well, is marbles. Now, any of you who watch Formula One, or look, I mean, you see them there on that corner there. You've maybe raced the game, you maybe haven't, you maybe know about marbles from watching Formula One. I'm very surprised that the marbles are A, in the game, and B, they actually have an effect on the grip of your tyres if you run over them. And I'm sure when we get to the end of the race, I'll show you a comparison between the first and the last lap, just so you can see the difference that the marbles actually make on the track, and that they seem to hamper you if you actually run over them. I didn't get the best exit from that corner, so I'm sure that Fantastic is actually catching me. Look at that, he's visually closer now as well. So And it's only 1:34.5 as well on that last lap as well, so we aren't getting these great lap times in as we were. Could be the tyres, could be the grip, could be the marbles, could be my concentration. We've only got 4 laps to go now, so we're a quarter of the race left. That's all we've got left, and suddenly we're sitting, maybe not as pretty as we were before, but we are sitting relatively okay in second place. So this is going to be my best win in Fuji. Well, we've got about, what are these? These are 1.5 minute laps. There's 3.5 laps left, so we've got about 5 or 6 minutes to go to find out. Now Fly Finger's actually lost 4th place now, so I'm guessing he's had a bit of a mistake because he was on fresh medium tyres. There's no reason he should have lost a place, but he has. We may or may not see that. But there's the end of lap 13. Well, there's the end of lap 13, and there is Fantastic crossing the line. So he's literally about, I'm looking at my lap time there, but he did cross the line about 3.5 seconds in. So 3 laps to go. He's about 3.5 seconds behind. Run a little bit wide there, and twitchy times as we become loose on these exits with these slowly degrading tyres. I only hope his are degrading as much as mine are. He pitted the same time as me, didn't he? Actually, he pitted at exactly the same time, and he came into the pits right behind me on lap 7. So he's obviously having better time on these tyres, and you know, if you go off the track, if you spin in any way or spin your tyres, you skid into corners, you wheel spin them coming out, that all takes life and grip off your tyres. So maybe he's looking after them better than I am, especially through this final section where I don't seem to get it right. So maybe he's looking after them a lot better, and that's why he's actually got some life in those tyres to be able to gain on me. So we've only got 2 laps left after this one. I'm still in front, which is the main thing. Oh, come on, let's get another good result. Well, to be fair, that even if I lose second place, we've got Meister. You know, he's even further, but he's maybe what, 6-7 seconds further back. So even if we did lose, if we did gain, we get past, we should still be alright for a podium, whatever else happens. Come on. Sure, we can get this checkered flag, you know, in a good position. He's definitely catching though. He's definitely catching up. That he's using all the track, which, you know, maybe I'm not at this moment. Decent corner on that last corner. That's I'm at the wrong part of the track. But that middle corner looked very similar from the footage. So there he is. No sign of 4th place in our mirrors or the camera footage. So it really is still, as it was at the beginning, about this battle for second. The only difference between now is we're at the first Speedy Grandpa pits again. Looks like he's coming on mediums. He's got far too much time on his hands. He could have another pit stop there and run wide. He did a little bit too, so it's close. Now this is where I thought this was the last lap of the race. So you'll see me weaving about here from side to side of the track to stop him getting that slipstream, to stop him getting past me before the line. Look at there I go, I'm all over the track, and then I cross the line and I think, oh no, I've got another lap to go. So I really did mess that up. He's so close to me now, but this time I actually hooked that first corner up better, and you can see he's just now drifted off a little bit back to a second away. So Nippon took 2/10, fastest first sector by 2/10. I'm not too sure how well that actually is the fastest sector of the whole game. In fact, it can't be the whole race. It can't be really, but it's definitely my best sector. So there's potential in this race to still get the medal. but he's still there. He's now getting another half a second through those corners. And he's even with his pit stop speed, Grandpa is 25 seconds up the road. So into this final sector, final technical section for the last time. I'm still in front. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners to go. 3 corners to go. Come on. Whoa, no! Where is he? Where is he? He's there, damn it. Oh, that corner again messed me up. And look, there are those marbles. Look, there are those marbles. And look, there's the difference. First lap, last lap. That's the marbles. Now, you've got to be out there to be affected by them. But I was out there through my lack of grip, lack of concentration, lack of knowledge, whichever it may be. But still, 3rd place. 3rd place. Flything got actually finished in 6th.
Great drive. Unlucky with the tyres at the end. Solid
Yeah,
3rd.
Thanks. Flything actually finished 6th in the end after his second pit stop and various indiscretions throughout the last of the race. So it really was close between the 1st and 2nd and 3rd in the end. 3rd was right behind me. 5th was only a few seconds behind. Well done, Speedy Grandpa. Great race for everybody. Some clean racing. Oh, we had the odd track violation penalty, but other than that, some good clean racing. 3rd place. And this was the last race of the day, and I still got fastest driver in the UK, so I'm pretty chuffed with that as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next round, next race, next video.